जय देने वाला प्रभु यीशु मसीह की हालेलुया, यीशु मसीह की।
प्यारे पिता, हम यीशु मसीह का पवित्र नाम से आज इस गलील की समुद्र पर है। पिता परमेश्वर, आपने हमें यह अवसर दिया है इस गलील की इस झील पर। प्रभु यीशु मसीह, आप बहुत चमत्कार किया। इस गलील पर आपने इस पानी के ऊपर आप चला है और सब अद्भुत बातों को हम याद करते हैं। प्रभु यीशु मसीह, हम इस समय प्रार्थना करते हैं, हम भारत से इस इस्राएल में आकर इस गलील में चलने के लिए आपने मदद किया। हम इस जगह से भारत के ऊपर आशीष बोलते हैं। आज यीशु मसीह का नाम से भारत की उद्धार हो जाए, भारत में चमत्कार हो जाए, भारत में यीशु मसीह की महिमा प्रकट हो जाए। हम आज मिलकर यीशु मसीह का पवित्र नाम से भारत को आशीष करते हैं। हम इस्राएल के लिए प्रार्थना करते हैं, इस्राएल में शांति हो, इस्राएल में प्रभु यीशु की महिमा हो। प्रभु, हम सबको मिलकर आपकी महिमा के लिए हम खड़े होने के लिए आपने अवसर दिया, धन्यवाद। आगे की सबक आशीषित रहे, महिमा आपको मिले यीशु मसीह का नाम में, आमीन। मसीह को जगा कर बोला, हम नाश होने से आपको कोई विचार नहीं है। हमें उसी समय 2 बार ऐसे बातें हम बाइबल में देखते हैं, झील के अंदर ऐसे तूफान आया। यीशु मसीह किनारे से दूसरे किनारे पर एक व्यक्ति से मिलने के लिए आए इस झील की ऊपर से। यीशु मसीह झील पर चला और सब बातें वहां पर हुआ था। और इट्स प्लेस इज सो हिस्टोरिकल। और प्रभु यीशु मसीह को जब भी याद करते हैं, जहां पर भी प्रचार करते हैं, ये झील की प्रचार होती है, झील में भी कुछ बातें होती हैं। मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूँ, बाय गॉड्स ग्रेस, प्रभु के अनुग्रह से हमारे साथ ये गाड़ी चलाते हैं, हमारे साथ ये गाड़ी चलते हैं। मैं आपको बोलूं, इन प्रिय लोगों का उद्धार अभी तक शायद नहीं हुआ। हम हजारों किलोमीटर दूर हैं, हम यीशु को आज अनुभव कर सकते हैं। We can experience the love of Jesus.
Ministry took place, the area where Jesus preached, where he performed the miracles, where he fed the multitudes, where he healed the people, where the first disciples were chosen, where he walked on the water, where he said to his disciples, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men," as well as it is the area where Jesus appeared to his disciples after his resurrection. And the Sea of Galilee about 220 meters below sea level. The water in the lake is fresh, drinkable water. Those who lives around the lake and in upper Galilee, north of the lake, as well as in the southern region of Israel, drinks from this water. Where does this water comes from? It comes from the snow of Mount Hermon, which is about 70 kilometers northeast of here, that direction, and from 3 rivers, Hasbani, Dan, and Panias River, which is known also as Caesarea Philippi, the site where St. Peter had the confession about whom Jesus was, which we read about it in the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 16. Every one of those rivers runs separate for about 30-some kilometers. Then they form one river called Jordan, and it runs about another 30 kilometers before its inlet on the northern side of the lake. The outlet of it is on the southern side where we are going after we leave the boat. And it runs about 160 kilometers on twisty road before it gets into the Dead Sea. This is a rich lake because it receives and gives. The Dead Sea is dead because it receives and it does not give. If you try to walk on the water, and if you cannot make it, on your way down to the bottom, which is about 50 meters deep, you find 32 different kinds of fish. Mainly the cat's fish, the small sardine fish, and a certain kind called St. Peter's fish, which we read about it in the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 17, that they came to Jesus while he was around Capernaum, and they asked him to pay the temple tax. He does not have any coins to give them. He said to Peter, go down to the sea, and the first fish you catch, you open the mouth of that fish, you find piece of coin, and you give it to them. And Peter done that. Since that day they called that certain kind of fish St. Peter's fish, and we shall have St. Peter's fish for lunch today. We are staying at the city of Tiberias, and the city of Tiberias was founded by Herod Antipas in 18 AD, and he called it Tiberias in honor to the Emperor Tiberius after the destruction of the second Jerusalem temple by Titus in 70 AD. So many Jewish rabbis, scholars, teachers, professors, students came and lived in Tiberias. It became like a house of refuge. They lived here, they studied, died and buried, and Tiberias became one of the 4 holy cities to the Jewish people in the country. The 4 holy cities to the Jewish people in the country: Jerusalem. Why Jerusalem? Because it is the place where Abraham tried to sacrifice his son Isaac, and the place where the temple stood, Solomon, as well as the Herodian temple stood. Number 2 city, Hebron. Why Hebron? Because it is the burial place of the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and their wives. Number 3, Tiberias. Number 4, Safed, which is way up on the mountains that direction. Why Safed, holy city to the Jewish people? Because the same thing after the destruction of the second Jerusalem temple by Titus in 70 AD, so many Jewish rabbis, scholars, teachers, professors, students came and lived in Safed, studied, died and buried. And the city of Safed is the city which Jesus referred to. A city set on the hill cannot be hid. Now you may look to your right. There you see a high hill. That high hill called in Hebrew Migdal, in Arabic Majdal. Both means watchtower. On the foot of the hill is Magdala, the hometown of Mary Magdalene, mentioned in the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 8. Magdala in Jesus' time was one of the important towns around the Sea of Galilee. It was a town where they used to build up the boats, where they used to make the nets, and where they the Valley of the Winds. It was the main road in Jesus' time which led from Nazareth to Capernaum. And it was the road which followed by Jesus when he came from Nazareth on his way to Capernaum. Soon we shall be going through Kibbutz North Ginusar, and we shall go to the bus and be on our way to another kibbutz, Kibbutz Kinneret. The crew members all were nice to us, and they gave the opportunity for meditation and prayer. If you like to help them out, they have small things to sell, and they have also t-shirts. I have sailed on the Sea of Galilee, so if you like to buy something, it is entirely up to you.